to this game. Only one of these teams get to move on, and the other will drop. ZETA Division is going to try their best and influence Rage. They've been in this position before. They are the ones coming in with the experience.
All right, a 1-3-1 indeed. Confirmed, it's a gold lane Ruby. It's been a while, but there is a precedent. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1. This is an elimination match. Let's see who gets the match point first. This mid lane matchup between the Angela Zushin and Kimmy Minotaur. Is that the first time we've seen this, actually?
I feel like we've seen this before,
We've
but
seen
maybe
it at least once. Yeah, here the wild card.
with a slightly different iteration. But right now, Junichi needs to make sure that Chino is not going to be able to participate, right? He's got to make sure that he wins this lane really, really hard, because Chino is going to cause a lot of problems for ZETA Division, right? He could technically get a free 2-for-1. He sees the person get into the sees the heart guard being used on the guy, quickly just hop onto him, pull him out of position, and save his entire team.
Oh, but mind you, that's a very reactive plan. Influence Rage may be coming in half-cocked with a hand tied behind their back if they're going to be playing that way, because they're not playing to their tempo. They're reacting to what ZETA Division is doing, which, in my opinion, as a chaotic team, as a team that wants to fight, is antithetical. Like, that goes against your nature.
Well, if we're talking about going against their nature, I just want to see how good, if Influence Rage does get, let's say, a 2K lead, can they close out this game pre-10 minutes? If not, looking not to push this game any further than 13 minutes, because we've seen so many teams get a huge lead at the very beginning, but not enough to close the game.
They are getting a small economic lead. Prior to this, they were about 200, 300, then suddenly the swing. So far, 10 and Hotun at about deadlock for EXP. Now, first of the scene, Influence Rage pushing out 10.
And he's taking a lot of damage here. Oh no, he's getting repositioned out of the way. They haven't hit level 4 in time, but Ted still able to steal it away. His retribution touched by the gods. Chino left to die as the curtain call falls upon him. First blood for ZETA Division.
From the heavens, the gods' claws come down and say, 10, you shall have this turtle. A 10 out of 10 performance in the first 2 minutes of the game. ZETA Division now up by, getting what, 1,000 with just a kill and a turtle?
Yep. First blood, man. That's just the way that things go sometimes. Right now, Fury trying his best to kind of keep Muminet in place, but I think Influence Rage need to make a couple of calls. Number 1, all right, first turtle is done. Second turtle, we can decide not to contest for it, which a lot of teams usually do, but do we put our resources down into the gold lane, try to get Fury out of there, or just because of their double fighter composition, hey, we need to fight for the second turtle?
And that question might be what puts them in analysis paralysis. Like, they might have to make hard decisions when they're not ready. As it is, this stolen camp here by Hotun is one of the few wins Influence Rage can count for themselves, because down bottom, again, we counted this as a win, right? If the CC comes through, then Chino's not going to have a great time. The glue is going to get bullied by the CC. That's already happening. Top lane, we haven't really seen them bear down on Muimine, so Influence Rage really haven't put anything on the board just yet. 3 minutes in.
Nope, ZETA Division just slow and steady. They want to scale, and more importantly, they want to make sure that they can deny resources from Influence Rage. If we're talking about just raw scaling, I mean, the Harith, more than ever, needs his 4th item before he becomes a true demon in the game itself. But Influence Rage, if they want to kind of crack open this shell, I think it has to come down to the mid lane, right? We haven't seen Chan get a lot of pressure and space from the rest of his team to actually make these plays, mainly because Batsia just always is in front of his face.
And whenever Chan does get a bead on ZETA Division, whoever it might be, in comes Pisuke, threatening a chokeslam to be much closer to ZETA Division's front line. So now the second turtle spawns, upper quarter, Mountain Shocker. They know where everyone from ZETA Division is.
Oh, they're gonna fight. Here comes the hard card coming out on top of 10. Let's see who gets this retribution battle as we see the Minoa Fairy knock up 2. They're gonna fight all the way through. And now, with the help of Hito, he's quickly trying to turn this around as the team disengages. Jotun already at 1 HP. Chad finally finds 10. Dun takes out Jotun at the same time. Fury still very, very healthy, but ZETA Division without their junglers from either side, do they still want this turtle?
Junichi on the case, did not let go, found the trade of all trades, and they find Chino here, forced to give him the spread. It happened, Gideon. Whoever got the heart guard got ridden on by Chino with the grab, but eventually the trade didn't count because Zeta Division still scored the turtle.
Shield Unity, baby. Hopping over walls, making sure that he's able to get to the neutral objective before Hotur, who does it. Well, I mean, I don't think you want to use the Mountain Shocker just to be able to see the turtle go away from your eyes. You're not going to get there in time. Let's just play to scale.
Hotun used it the right way prior to the turtle being taken, right? Make sure that we know where the engage is from. Make sure that we know who the heart guard might be going into, and as predictably as it did, into 10. That's why I guess they were able to just bear down on him, kill him, and then it still didn't make a difference because they still lost the retribution user in the trade-off. So if this goes again the same way over and over, what's the play here? How do they one-up Junichi? I think Junichi is going to be the key here.
Yeah, he really is. And I think that Fury... Well, here's the thing. It feels like as much as Fury needs to get an I'm offended on 2 priority targets, ideally somebody who has the Heart Guard on top of them, and even Junichi, Zeta Division just has to keep a little spread out, right? We saw that Paquito only got him and no one Fury on 2 targets, and that's when the rest of Zeta Division started to trickle on in.
And it's in this little... tight corner that Minoan Fury happened. It was very ideal. It was great for Influence Rage. It's just that I think Zeta Division were counting on Paquito actually pulling the trigger right then and there. 10, positioning, looking for a response, and wow, look at that. They're opening the map up for Junichi. He's pushing, he's cutting.
Yep, they already noticed that CC is not a part of this fight in the Minoan Fury with a flicker very early on as the back line is cut off. Zamaforce is already popping the front line. Kalapsuke is already gone. 10 trying to disengage his influence.
Chino!
3 members already know. Paquito is down. Chino, the next to fall. Traction Pulse doesn't happen in time. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Zeta Division. A man down in the fight.
Zeta Division. It was Pisuke, and again, you are okay with Pisuke doing this because you're still winning the trade. If it was just Chino or Paquito who died, I would have counted as a win. But they still got 2 on the way out and still left Junichi to almost take down that tier 1 down bottom. So this still is a massive win for Zeta Division. Now they're 2K ahead. First to the turtle 2, and they're even threatening a steal here. They're definitely putting up borders here. Huge body for Zeta Division, and 3 out of 3!
3 out of 3 turtles. I mean, this is pretty uncontestable, right? They didn't have any position on it. They don't have the correct ults. There's nothing much that influence rate. Oh, wait, they're still going to try force Pisuke to quickly use that lantern flare. Gets on out of there in time. While the top side is going to get shoved in. Junichi, down by bot tier 1, will make sure that that collapses. His 10 himself is going to try and disengage Wuminette from the potential dive here. Chino, Paquito on the run. Pisuke able to find the pickup. Paquito is down and out.
10 will not stand down. Yes, there was a man advantage for Influence Rage. Yes, Mumine was holding on to that turret, taking care of the waves first, but they knew that with a Hearth Guard, they weren't touching 10, and now they're owning the map. Conversion through the roof. Zeta Division, they are bullying Influence Rage away from resources. This is a 4K gold lead now.
Yep, it's so clean. Let's look at the items real quick here, because if we're looking at Fury, he's got 2 items already in his pocket. The War Axe, making sure that he's also got some anti-heal alongside it. We do see that the Sky Piercer as a pickup for Chan. Interesting option here when I would assume that's going to be Hodun, the one who cleans up these fights. You want him to get ahead.
A little greedy. I think this is the Zushin in Chan speaking. Build the Sky Piercer. And that's how we got away with the Savage, right? In match yesterday. But here, Zeta Division, you can see that they are, even with their relatively defensive lineup, right, this Angela-centric lineup, they're still proactive. They're forcing Influence Rage to commit economy to anti-heal, and they're already on their way to 3.
I'm really concerned right now for Influence Rage. Junichi currently 3K ahead of Chino. 2 times that he's proxied the wave, 2 times of which Zeta Division winning out in a man disadvantage against Influence Rage, allowing Junichi 2 items ahead and could probably 1v3.
Coach Blackjack should have banned CC.
I really think so. Ban out the CC instead of the Lapu Lapu.
But you know what? After seeing Junichi play the Lapu Lapu, I don't blame Coach Blackjack.
Oh, yeah.
You know, both, it was picking the lesser evil. Lord spawning, Junichi first at the scene, 10 as well taking care of the little Wanderer here. early traction pulse run by Chan.
And it finds Suzuki, doesn't force him to use his ult just yet. Cool, calm, and collected. He tries, he manages to get the turbo, but doesn't want to commit any further than that. He still had the Traceless in time to maybe look for the execute, but even then, Connie refused to give him the heart guard at 1 HP.
If it's not necessary, we don't have to do it. We are just at 10 minutes, folks, so the cooldown on Kani's heart guard is still something of a significant factor. Influence Rage are counting on these things. Seconds to the dot wherein they can pick fights and ensure that the coast is clear. Zeta Division at least are ahead enough to allow for themselves to retreat, buy time, and then re-engage. Junichi, does he know that there's 3 hiding in the brush here?
Oh, no, unfortunately not. 2K going to get hit by Fury. Unfortunately, Yoten's able to get out of the way despite the curtain call. The hard card right on top of Junichi. Fury even flickering forward to disengage the rest of his team. They're realizing that Muiminette actually has some real damage with the recent purchase of the Holy Crystal.
Even with Zeta Division being a man down, Influence Rage are keeping themselves scarce. They find Junichi.
He's down and out. Chan already with a purchase with the genius wand. The item power spikes are coming in for Influence Rage. Is this what they've been waiting for? Or has Zeta Division bitten more than they can chew? 10 still walking up. He's stolen all 3 objectives, controlled the turtles, but this Lord might just be too important. The Toys Play Song's already out. Pepito already low. Fury finds it. Yotun takes a Muiminette despite the Salmon Force. Cannot outplay it.
It's enough to push Influence Rage back, but Zeta Division may have wasted too much time. They were playing with fire and they got burned. Influence Rage scores a Lord. I can understand what Zeta Division was going for the first time that they lost a member, right? But the second time, and when there was such a clear gap between 10 and the chance of stealing, they should just backed out.
They should have
cut their losses.
I mean, they were trying to thread the needle, try and get as much as they possibly can. At this point, let's look at the items one more time, right? I'm seeing Radiant Armor is being purchased by 10. He is comfortable dealing with Chan, even with the Blade Armor as well. Chan doesn't want to keep on shooting him, especially since he's got no concentrated energy, no Feather of Heaven to keep him alive. Same can be said about your boy Junichi, also with Blade Armor.
There's so many anti-heal right now on Influence Rage. Let's see if that's going to be a game changer. Zeta Division have to defend. The map is looking red. The STC Arena have a lot of Influence Rage fans among the stands. And Influence Rage are pushing the advantage. Now they have the gold lead, about 3,000 as they knock down Tier 2 in mid.
They're bringing home that energy. They want to make sure that they are ready to fight with everything they have in them. The inhibitors are still standing. We now go into the 12th minute of the game, going to the 13th. 102 seconds until the next Lord spawn. 5-5, a 3K gold lead for Influence Rage.
Here's what's dangerous, Gideon. Influence Rage, more than anybody, knows how an Angela lineup has 2 power spikes. When they snowball you and when the Zushin is ready to go. So Chan has to understand that even if we are up now and we've relatively cordoned off Zeta Division into their base, as long as they're getting farm and as long as the game is going and they haven't lost just yet, it's not over. Psuke forced to use the Crimson Beacon, even threatened the Hearthguard trigger on Kani. Zeta Division have to make use of the next minute. I don't know how or where they're going to find farm, but Hotun has denied them even just that.
You got to starve them out, right? Again, it feels Influence Rage. They've heard you, right? They understand these power spikes, and they also understand the potential win conditions from the side of Zeta Division. That's why there's such a big focus on Psuke this entire time, right? That's why Fury's eyes are locked on Psuke, and if he can get Junichi at the same time, it saves their backline from that curtain call.
Mountain Shocker here by Hotun confirms the positioning of Zeta Division. They're going to force the issue. June forced to use the Vengeance. Down half health. Zeta Division clap back.
No, Fury, he's trying to get out. He's forced the flicker. Pepito is able to get away with the help of... Fury pulls it too with the I'm Offended, allowing Chan to run them down. 10 needs the peel. Yota doesn't care as he finds one. Chan gets the double. Chan gets the triple.
The Latino Savage 2 kills away. Filling his namesake, leaves a 10, a survivor, a reminder to Zeta Division that you do not pick a fight against a Ruby and against a Kimi, against a Minotaur in such a tight space.
Look at Fury, he's feeling that energy. He's feeling not only from the home crowd who's come all the way here to watch this game, but now the inhibitor's starting to fall. Looking to end this game, 10 next to fall, mid inhibitor's down, and that's game 1 going over to Influence Rage.
one game away from eliminating Zeta Division and ending the underdog run. One game away from moving on to the crossovers. Zeta Division 1-0. The odds are stacked against them, man. Influence Rage. One single turnaround.
One single turnaround. I was wondering how much value are they going to get from that Minotaur? And you can see from the members, they're like, okay, we understand. We lost the mind games here. We used our abilities a little too early. Y'all got to disengage. You collapse. Fair play. Fair play. It's not going to happen again in game 2.
Let's go again.
One more time.
That's always the energy that Zeta Division put out there, and I think that's what makes them such a positive beacon of energy for a lot of old fans and new fans of MLBB Esports, is the fact that you're seeing a team that just lost decisively game 1 still smiling. That's refreshing. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I mean, they are young guns, but I think they have some of the strongest mentals we've seen throughout the wild cards, right? It doesn't feel like they are playing worse because of, oh, we're behind 8,000 gold. It's not that big of a deal. We could still come back from this, whether in this game or the next.
It's the fact that they perform despite the fact. And that's what allows them to be such darlings, such sweethearts on the grand stage that is the MSC wildcards. Another look here at the highlights. Again, these are moments wherein it was Zeta winning. I hope we see the turning point and what time that came in, because look, even in such a tight position like this, oh, there it is, no more. That was beyond it. Wow. There was such a fast game. I didn't expect it to happen there.
Yep. That's the thing. When it comes down to these, tight choke points, that's when you can see Chan get maximum value from his abilities. Even Psuke, he's thinking, okay, technically choke points should work in our favor as well, considering the size of the lantern to begin with.
But the fact that they were dismantled piece by piece, the fact that Muimine just goes. Question. Should the target of the Hearthguard be Muimine like half the time? Often it's given to the heroes that don't need it. Often it's given to the heroes with extra shields anyways.
That's the thing. I don't know. It's a really tough call because you got a lot of different people. There's an argument that you could even put it on 10, but it just depends on the positioning during the team fight, the shape of the team fight, unfortunately.
It's another game loss for Harith. We both said it was a bad idea.
I agree. Again, we've been talking about this all throughout the wild cards. Harith was great before the changes, right? The fact that it requires a little bit more time for the Harith to get rolling is one of the main reasons why we don't see the Harith be as strong as it was before. But other than that, I really like the drafts coming in from Zeta. I think having the Jushin, the Angela Baxia combination, I thought that would be one of the pinnacles to how they would be able to get the early game. But man, Ruby in the gold for influence, I think that was the best adaptations that they could have in the drafts.
Oh, we did get it right that they were going for the Enchanter support.
Well, to a degree. I mean, Minotaur is a kind of like in-betweener. He kind of likes to bend the rules a bit.
Oh, then both of them. So, again, when you're this close to the final match in the wild card, again, one BO3 away from the BO5, you put everything out there.
Yeah. It's drafts again. I love this, right? Because we're now no longer seeing that much of a gap in terms of like micro abilities, but more so how the draft is going to be able to translate to the game itself. Because again, the first 3 picks from Zeta were very strong, but the adaptations coming in from Influence Rage were just the cherry on top to everything else, and we saw that easily executed into the game, and I think that's why we're seeing the rise in Minotaur more so, right?
I suppose here's the thing: as these teams and we start, in the wildcards, we start weeding out the weaker teams. The level of play increases, and therefore the margin of error reduces. So therefore, any little advantage that these teams can actually generate for themselves is actually, leaps and miles ahead of some if you've got the tech. So that's the thing, right? How much can you min-max, whether in-game or outside of the game?
What do you think could have been adapted coming from Zeta? Do you think
Don't ban the Lapuk. Should have got rid of the CC. I think that was like a blaring mistake.
Yeah, Junichi was the shining beacon even when they were losing. So maybe find a way to give Junichi a winning matchup. And then, contrary to Micro not being an element anymore that we should fix, I think the gold lane in Zeta Division still has to be taken care of. You have to really focus on that.
Wait a minute.
He needs a little help.
That's why the Diggy worked for them, right? It's very case specific.
Because it makes up for it.
Unfortunately, I think that's what we're looking at, right? I think he needs a little bit more support. Maybe even just the mental aspect of knowing someone is in the lane with you might be that game changer for Zeta. So we're gonna see whether or not these adaptations come into play for game number 2, because we are gonna go on a short break. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This land is calling. Welcome back, everyone, from that short break. Still watching the wildcards here at MSC x EWC 2025. Now, match number 2. Already at match point here for Influence Rage. And the big question, can the Japanese region, the Japanese team in Zeta Division remain calm, collected, and stoic to maybe look for a reverse sweep as their elimination is imminent? We're back here on the English broadcast with me, Eterna, alongside Leo as well as Gideon. Boys, we talked a little bit about adaptations coming into game numero uno. Numero ni.
Wow, she's just mixing all of the languages. No one's happy.
Half the region understands somewhat of what you're saying.
I'm trying. But yeah, let's go back to these adaptations. Drafts once again. Influence Rage, how do they close things off? Or did you think that the drafts coming in was already really good?
Well, I mean, obviously there's some places that could be polished. I think it really came down to the in-game decision-making to turn it around more than anything else, which Zeta Division can take advantage of, right? Because now this gives us a rough idea of what the priority is if they are on blue side. It's information. Jushin, they want to go for double marksman. Baxia needs to either be taken or banned away.
And that's easy to read because even we saw it coming, right? Oh, triple marksman, but technically it wasn't triple marksman, it was 131. And then, the reason why they're doing this is because they want to steal it away. So what if they switch it up completely? What if they allow the Zushin? Because again, Zushin given to Chan isn't 100% win, right?
Yep.
You can still stop it from getting the support it needs in the Angela in the second phase. I don't think Influence Rage is going to do that, not so bluntly. even if going for the win, even going for the sweep. So, in my opinion, again, go back to their fundamentals, because I think that's where Zeta Division lost out on. They have to focus on themselves. They have to employ Mushin no Shin, mind without mind. They have to focus on a state of flow and play their game.
By the way, I mean, speaking of a state of flow, for the past few days, we have been seeing people come into the venue, but not as loud as this.
Hey.
STC Gaming Hall is filled with fans from, I believe, Influence Rage.
Oh yeah, they've brought out the flags. They've already come on to show their support for their team, and you are looking at the key that they are hopefully going to hold up by the end of the wild cards. And I love the energy that's coming into the arena because of that. Hopefully that's going to give the advantage that Influence Rage are looking for, because, again, in MPL Latam, they are loud there.
Oh, yeah, no, our good friends here watching, Gabro, he's a talent for MPL Latam. He knows. He brought these folks, and he's leading the charge and cheering. So that is what Zeta Division are going up against. So, again, they have to really internalize their focus. They have to focus on themselves and not be intimidated by this army of fans behind Influence Rage.
I would say so, right? This army. I mean, they were all smiles earlier on. So we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. Again, match point drafting phase will begin here for game number 2. Gideon, Leo, take us through once more.
Okay, Zeta's still on the play, and they're banning in a very similar pattern.
They're going to set up this puzzle once more. This is the karakuri that we need to see from Zeta Division, a traditional way to puzzle make against Influence Rage. I mean, it really came down to the in-game more than anything else. In terms of the draft, it's not like Zeta Division were going too far away from the meta. It just came down to the moment-to-moment in the game itself. But let's streamline it a little bit more, right? If we're following the exact same pattern, a couple of adjustments that could have been made. Number one, can we start switching up that Angela? Do we need a disengage mechanic? That way, if our opponents try to do the same thing, we also have a way to kind of back up and say, hey, we're cutting our losses here.
So you're saying, give Kani the Matilda.
Give Kani a Matilda, give Kani maybe even a Gatot.
Or just run it back, give Kani a Diggy.
Honestly,
that's also a disengage.
I mean, it's one of the best disengages in the game, and especially a natural counter to the Minotaur. A motivational roar, time bomb, again and again and again. I mean, the damage is also pretty relevant in these fights.
Oh no, but it might not fly, because the answer to the Zushin opener is not a Yisenshin Kimi, but instead a Baksha Kimi. So even now, Rage might walk away with both sides of the coin that was flipped in game 1. They might even set up their own Angela lineup, unless, oh man.
I would hope not.
What if Zeta does it again?
What if Zeta does it again? But I feel like Black Jax, he's already going into the superset here, right? He's trying to make sure that it's going to be difficult. He's trying
pushing for 405.
He's pushing for 405, a new PB. And for Influence Rage, I think this is a very good setup from Influence Rage. You take away the counter pick as well. Oh, we're going back to the classics here. Moskov, okay, sure. But the Hayabusa maybe could find opportunities to take out Chan on the Kimi.
Not going to do much against the Baksha, though.
No.
So I guess they're taking points of Mushinoshin. Again, flow. Like, they're going to play what they know, and they're going to play how they play. The odds be damned. Like, they don't care. Like, they we'll just do this. And this makes sense. The double pickup on the Zushin does two things. Number one, it takes it away from Chan. Number two, it allows for them to control mid to maybe alleviate pressure on Muimine, which is on the Moskov, which I still... He has 2 wins on the Moskov.
That's the thing. He has 2 wins on the Moskov. It's just the laning phase that's been the biggest problem. We see the Lapu Lapu get locked in for the side of Influence Rage. Kind of an interesting selection here, especially when within the first rotation. But now we need to see the banning for potential counter picks. And I think one of which they need to start thinking of here for the side of Influence Rage is you've got the Kimi, you've got good tanks, you've got a decent amount of damage. The question is, what is your support? And looking on the side of Zeta, they're like, we don't like you having these pick-off style compositions. Therefore, does Kaja come into play?
First, the Franco. You gotta ban the Franco first, because the Kalia, the Cho are already out of the picture. So, Coach Tink, Zeta, they have to ban the Franco. And then maybe ban the Angela.
I feel like they're going to do that again. I mean, Zeta has shown that they're following the exact same pattern, especially in the first rotation of the bans.
Yep. And for Rage, again, they're playing their own game. All they can do is just take away key picks from Zeta Division, taking away Junichi's Masha.
I like this a lot. It does go to show that maybe they're going to flex this Boxia depending on how Zeta Division completes their composition at the very end. Like you called it, the Angela is going to get banned out this time round. They are playing for their own game.
And they don't have a gold laner just yet, Influence Rage, so I think Zeta should ban out the Irithel there.
Is Irithel the worst? 1-1 Bruno is already gone. Are we worried about the Granger's long range? I suppose that it could slow them down.
No, we haven't seen Granger in a while.
We haven't seen Granger in a hot second.
It's been like 20 hours since we last saw Granger.
It's losing, dropping down. People are selling its stocks.
So, Coach Blackjack's one more red 5 ban here. Zeta Division with bated breath, assuming they'll attack more roamers. Franco, again, that's my guess here. That's got to be the blue 5 Franco ban. CC, Junichi's pick.
Bit odd. A little odd now that you've already got Lapu Lapu on your side. But okay, fair enough. They want to make sure that at least Junichi is going to feel a little uncomfortable now that it's not going to be that easy to jump into that backline in the first place. And any other hero at this point who will look to dive has to deal with the Toys Poissons coming in from Boxia. You know, just the residue alone. Oh, Yuzong's not going to get as much value from his passive. Even Arlet as well with the Vengeance.
And they're thinking that far in. We've yet to see a Yuzhong, which we've been alluding to for so long now. But Zeta, again, if this isn't the Franco, they might have plans for it. Does Kani know how to play a Franco? Oh, no.
Ooh, they're leaving it open.
They could have picked the Matilda too, but instead they don't.
That's rather surprising. I guess they don't want to... Do they not want to lose value from their battle spells, I suppose? No, it wouldn't make sense. Let's see what Influence Rage comes here, because this red 4th pick is going to be devastating for them, right? If it's going to be, let's say, the Franco, it has a really good combination with the Kimi at the very least. It's not going to get as much pressure, depending on whether or not he has that Iron Hook off a cooldown.
They can just Irithel here. Irithel red 4, and then leave the roam up to 5. Paquito can just flex from there.
Okay, I like that. At least it gives more flexibility for the Boxia.
For the whole lineup.
That's good. That's a good idea. 5 more seconds and Ruby gets put in. Where does it go? We don't know.
Also still does not reveal anything. So we'll say that much. Zeta Division, it's now down to them. This could be the final 2 picks they make in all of their run in MSC Wildcard if this goes sideways, because they are fighting for tournament life right now. Rage at match point. Still do not have an XP laner nor a roamer.
What do they do at this point? There's no decent matchups for the EXP. It's pretty dead in the waters.
Gatot is still out there.
Gatot is okay.
Kani's played that.
It's true, but Influence Rage don't necessarily want to group up. They want to have a kill squad, and then everybody else is looking for off angles.
Phoveus is still available.
It's available, but I don't think there's enough dashes.
Not yet.
2 dashes, technically. Well,
not yet.
3.
Yeah. The Ruby might not be. Again, you're answering just for the Ruby. So we do get the Gatot and the glue. If I'm not mistaken, this is Junichi's first glue.
I don't know how to feel about this draft, Leo. They've got the disengage mechanic that they were looking for, and I think it makes a lot of sense. One dives, another one's looking to peel, and then if you're off angle, you get pulled in by the I'm offended. Doesn't matter when you have the AOG working for you.
Zeta might have without minded a little too much. I don't know if this is just a throw caution to the wind kind of lineup and just say, boys, just pick what's comfortable. We'll play our way there. Or this really is just what's left in the tank. They didn't want to put too much garnish on it. Influence Rage. We still don't know where this Ruby's going. We have seen Roam Ruby in the past, and using Shin. So it is a gold lane Ruby.
It is a gold lane Ruby one more time, especially when you're up against that Moskov. At least this Ruby, it's like, all right, yeah, sure, we've got 2 scaling heroes on our side. I can heal back off of the wave, and if you make a single mistake, you're in a lot of trouble.
Man, you gotta get up to Fury to be able to play a fighter in this current metagame wherein triple marksman lineups are possible. He's the one who plays fighters. He's a fighter Fury.
He is fighter Fury, and I think that at this point, it's quite the risk to actually pull it off. I mean, he did it in game number 1. We need to have some faith coming into game number 2 that he's going to find that one I'm offended that wins him the game.
If y'all are thinking it's a fluke, he's gonna go ahead and do it again, take pictures. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming up into game number 2. Another Ruby gold lane here. for Influence Rage, unless they swerve us. It's very much possible. But the fact of the matter is, this is match point. Zeta Division are fighting for tournament life. They're holding on for all hope. The world is watching, and these Japanese underdogs want to prove themselves here and now. Confirmed, it is a gold lane Ruby indeed.
All right, momentum on the side of Influence Rage as we kick off this game. We see orange buff starts here. Oh, sorry, no, it's actually a leash. I keep thinking the box here is the jungler, but it's not. It's Yishun Shin. It's going to be a fast leash for the side of Influence Rage to rush level 4 as soon as possible. Both buffs already secured. For the invade with the help of Kimmy.
Let's see. They are going towards the Little Wanderer here, converging on a small camp near the orange. Yep, they're doing it!
And they want to do it as quickly as possible. They even got Fury involved here. They play on the strong side of their map. Fury is going to get pulled back, get chunked down, but it doesn't matter. It's Ruby. That spell vamp is just too valuable. Gold Crab falls into the hands of Hotun.
Pristine use of the Retribution cooldown. Use it in a buff camp and then saved it for that steal. Looking at the emblem builds here, in case you didn't get a good look at it in game number 1, it is a fighter emblem on Fury with hybrid defense and Festival of Blood alongside Brave Smite. So yeah, no, he just wants to out-sustain, fight, and then dismantle the battle lines of Zeta Division.
Yeah, Warrior Boots from the side of Fury. He understands what he's trying to do in this matchup. He wants his 1-1 to go as long as possible. Your autos don't mean nothing to me in the early stages of the game, even though Muminet decide to go for Master Assassin on top of it, right?
Yep, he's just going to deny the duel here by cutting the wave clean. He's all the way close to tier 2, down bottom. Now the turtle spawns upper quarter. This is a fight waiting to happen here.
Yep, level 4 have not been achieved just yet. Dusuke does not have level 4, and right now Chana's getting maximum value as Fury's in. He can use his I'm offended, finds the back in the stab. Dusuke is trying to get out. His first blood already achieved onto Kani.
And Kani did pop the Revitalize there to try and survive, but he can only do so much at level 3. First blood drawn plus the turtle. Influence Rage now 1,000 gold up. Junichi!
No. He's in trouble. He's going to get blasted down. Even with the Toy Poisons. Wait, hold on. He gets back in to pull him underneath the turret, John. He's here. He can't take that much damage. The Lantern Flare comes out, and Junichi finds revenge, taking out Pakitu underneath the tier 2.
That's the punish right there. Zeta Division finally on the board, but it was too little too late. All that attention that they had to give over to Paquito led into a turret take. So, at least for Zeta Division, at least it's the XP lane. At least Muimine can still breathe.
And now, Bravest Fighter coming in from Chino, using it very early on. And all of this, so many interesting that they're willing to use these resources just for a Lethal Wanderer, right? It's these small incremental wins that's so important, specifically for junglers to get ahead of their competition.
And if you can bury Ten's Hayabusa, then all the more you're going to deny him these highlight plays. So far, economically speaking, Influence Rage still has the lead, given that they did convert into a turret, and that's permanent damage to your side of the map just 3.5 minutes in. Influence Rage, they're really using this is brotherly bond. The Mountain Shocker confirms where people are. The rollout confirms where you're allowed to rotate. And then Zeta Division just has to respond. This is way too fast for Zeta Division to try and get farm on Muimine so far. Like, that is the only thing I see them doing.
It's about tempo, it's about control, but I think that Zeta Division, if the situation does happen, they got to start pulling back to a choke point and then use Kani's AOG as a guaranteed disengage, right? It's better to lose just one person compared to losing 4 people in a fight.
That is if Influence Rage will fall for it. They are so focused on just running through the map, taking everything away from Zeta Division, including the second turtle of the game. 100% so far. Fury, his first item, going to be that War Axe.
I mean, Botun right now, he's farming so much. Wait, hold on, Kani. Already on top of the correct target here. Paquito gets pulled on a backwards with Yogi Shadow Kill. Junichi finds Paquito, and now Kani manages to get out just in time. Gino, unfortunately, could not go further, could not find the kill back.
In an almost clairvoyant fashion, Kani AOG's out of the way from the SOD. Again, I couldn't tell if it was going to hit, but wait, look at this. Junichi coming in.
And now he's going to try and pull up back. No, John flickers just in time. 10 takes the shadow, and no, 1 HP, allowing Junichi to find the kill. However, Yotun finds one back. Paquito back into the fight. They're going to push out that mid wave, and 10 he finds his own purple buff.
Any sort of trade at this point for Zeta Division, any sort of presence they can make Influence Rage feel is going to help get attention away from Muimine. Mind you, 5 minutes in, there's nothing that Muimine has done. And I think that SOD missing might be a blessing in disguise. Because he could have gotten killed. Definitely could have gotten punished by Influence Rage now. Looking at the gold, he's just about, what, 100 gold down, 200 gold down from lane to lane. A majority of this farm really is in Hotun, over 10.
Yeah, EXP laners, slight leads there. But Hotun with a 1.2k lead, that's going to be really devastating for Zeta Division, because when you're dealing with Yi Shin, who is ahead in farm, he gets his items so much faster, you just feel like there's nothing you can do until you scale up yourself. And TQRSs haven't come in just yet. Actually, it might have been rushed by a couple. We'll have to see the item list later down the line. But for now, Junichi gets pulled in by the I'm Offended here. He still has the split. He's still in a good position. He's not going to die just yet. He's going to pull back Fury. Here comes the AOG, and they combo together perfectly. John now looking for some revenge. Going to take out Connie first, while we do see the bravest fighter in the backline. Yusuke goes down next. Hotun is able to find him.
The late entry Yi Shin enough to punish Zeta Division's overextension. And again, that's how bad it is right now for the Japanese squad. Is overextension means just getting out from tier 1 range. Influence Rage scores their third turtle, 100% take rate for these neutral objectives. Sure, it is a 4-4. Sure, Zeta Division are now threatening kills, but it's all Influence Rage. Everything from Zeta Division has just been, but what, a Hail Mary play? A hope of a pickoff? Influence Rage, you're calling the shots.
They are calling the shots, and you can see how far they hit. Even Chino is deciding, hey, I don't even need the War Axe this time. Give me the Hunter Strike first, and then I'm going to build into my tank items. Just the components, right? He's got the pants. He's also got the... Oh, wait, hold on. Yusuke solo doesn't die just yet. Oh, John flickers for it, and he's going to get another one. Paquito is going to seal that away. Oh, a good taunt there. Nicely played by Fury to deny 10 the animation of the shadow kill. Chino tries, uses his flicker, resources spent.
And all this while, now 7.5 minutes in, we've been keeping tabs on Muimine. Oh, 10!
He's chunked, but that's going to be mid-tier, one of the most important structure on the map.
Dangerous. The only response for Zeta Division is still to stay the course, get farm on Muimine, stay down there in bottom lane. Influence Rage, this hungry beast, they seem to just only be paying attention to mid, top, and wherever the major objective is. Muimine, my child, you can still farm up.
He's the investment here. He's Zeta Division's everything right now. It's the only way they can actually win this game at the very end. But notice, so many blade armors are being purchased. Sure, if we all group up together and you pierce through 4 of us, you're going to be taking more damage than you can even imagine.
Influence Rage are prepared for the coming of the one.
Oh!
And they get the one, Muimine!
What a play! And now the backline getting attacked as Junichi tries to cut them off. The Oki Shadow Kill is good enough for Fury, but underneath the tier 2, they can't get any more than this.
Gold laner trade here. Zeta Division, as painful as it is to lose Muimine even before he was ready to go, at least they got Fury. But really, what Zeta Division need to do, if they can do this, if they can kill Hotun, then we can start talking. But as it is, they're saying that a 5,000 gold lead. Junichi and Kani, what are they trying to do here? Chino's not having any of it.
Oh, he quickly uses the bravest fight to get out of there. 30 seconds on his flicker, and Junichi knows he's out of position. He's in some trouble here. Rage Blade already on top of him, and now the Traction Pulse fight too. The SOD does connect. He wants John. He gets him. Muimine tries to outplay, but Hotun is just too far ahead. 3-for-1 in favor of Influence Rage.
Surrounded and smothered by the 4 remaining members of Influence Rage. Again, the key was to find Hotun. But Muimine still said, you know what? It's something. Went for Chan and lost himself along the way. 3-for-1, the trade on paper, plus the Lord Influence Rage scores the first big one. They're going to be pushing in, getting rid of all of these outer turrets. Zeta Division, looking at the farm. Yeah, there's a lot of money on Muimine. Actually, the most money out of all of Zeta Division on Muimine, but what are they doing with that? That's the question.
I mean, the problem is, even though he's got the most money, he doesn't have the Trinity built just yet. He's just a little off from getting the DHS. And once he gets it, at least he'll be able to deal with people like Paquito. And then you have to start thinking, how many stacks does he need to actually provide some real value in these team fights? Because a lot of it just comes down to, hey, I'm just out healing you. I'm just out damaging you. We're not going to give you the time to find that consistency.
And not to mention the firepower difference across the board. You're still looking at Chan. Chan is just as legit a threat as any, as Hotun. When you're staring down Influence Rage, when they make a push, which they are doing right now, bottom lane tier 2 gone, mid lane up next once this chubby wave comes through. Purple is going to get stolen away, but wait, the concealed play. Who are they looking for? All right, false rotation. 10!
Oh, he's going to use the Oki Shadow Kill to try and clear up that wave. A good idea, but Influence Rage respond perfectly. The Holy Defense going to collapse as well as the second waves are looking top and bottom. Zeta Division have to make a choice in Influence Rage. Say, come down bot side. No, they clear up these waves. Don't worry. We just got to chill for a second. We're 10 minutes going into the 11th minute. Hotun, he's just been crop farming the entirety of the map. It's working out perfectly for Influence Rage.
His pants are real tight. He's got bills on bills in them trousers. Influence Rage pops the Mountain Shocker. They know where everyone is. Traction pulse on the Junichi.
It's good. He might need to go and reset off of this. Quad Shadow comes in. AOG deep in the background, but it gets canceled out. Duske forced to use the Lantern Flare. Influence Rage are playing this perfectly. They don't get the inhibitor, but they've got the resources.
7,000 ahead. More than that. 8,000 gold between Zeta Division and Influence Rage. 10. He is farming up, yes, but look at him on the damage rankings. He's literally on the lower half. He's not died, yes, but he's also not getting any farm.
I think Influence Rage has played this game too near perfectly, right? Track where 10 is early on. Attack Yusuke, then turn and converge on Muminette once we get into the mid to the late game. This has been planned out from beginning to the end. Blackjacks, he's got his superset here.
Coach Blackjacks, he's going for the 405 now, going for the elimination. The 2-0 Eminent, stealing away the orange buff, further starving Zeta Division. 10, he's been using Shadow Kill for the past 2 minutes now just to clear waves. That's how dire it has been for Zeta Division. And I was just about to say, here's another painful truth to swallow for Zeta Division. They have really bad wave clear.
They have extremely bad wave clear. The only person who can technically do that is Muminette. And even then, he can barely walk up to the wave in the first place. We saw what that looks like down by mid inhibitor. Here comes the conceal though. Turtle Ball lands onto Connie. They want to force out the AOG. Traction pulse. Nope. AOG out. SOD does land. Junichi, he's thinking about it. Does he take it? No. They back away. They take their time. Slow and steady.
They gotta count their blessings. Thank their stars that Influence Rage has their conceal on cooldown. If it was off of cooldown, best believe they would have engaged. Zeta Division able to use their kit, their ults, their resources, they're revitalized just to survive. And this is no dance. This is a stomp.
Bravest fighter already from Chino. As they're going to try Junichi, and he can't seem to get anybody. Cha takes him out. And now, with the Oki Shadow Kill all out, Zitens, he's going to try and steal it. 10 gets it at the very end. A double for Chan. Zeta might have just bought themselves an extra 4 minutes.
They may have lost out on the trade. 10 gave his life away, but he said to the high heavens, let me have this Lord. Let us steal it away to try and play for a late game comeback. Junichi and 10 for the Lord will save at least a base for Zeta Division. Influence Rage want to punish hard. Down
they've
goes
got to
mid
do
and
it.
top.
They've got to fight down Fury. Flickers forward the Alvin Vengeance. Tula Yota takes him out. AOG is the spawn from the Lord comes to block the minion push. Traction pulse. But Chan, he's got to deal with this. The glue is on top of him. Flickers out of the way. It might just be a little too late. The waves is there. Dusuke's going to try his best. But 10 needs to deal with the problem. 10 gets on out of there. Still Chan alive. Junichi, he's trying his best, but he's going to get gunned down. And that is going to be it. 14-7. Influence Rage tries to close out this game, but the waves are not there.
The wave, the only one left is the top lane, and Pasuke and 10 can take care of it. It's not over till it's over.
They are saved by the bell. Zeta Division bring it back. 9-15 so far. 14 minutes into this game. They've got their 4 minutes.
And a massive swing at that. Finally, they are able to take down Hotun. A shutdown. Muimine gets it on Chino. Oh, presses it.
He takes it.
A little perilous, don't you think? But here comes Kani and Pisuke.
Wait,
Oh,
wait.
wow. Where is this? Where is this bravery coming from? This may be misplaced.
I don't know, but it feels like a blood-curdling scream in-game. They're trying their best to find any kind of advantage against Influence Rage, but they're not giving it to them. Influence Rage, take one step back. You can take as many structures as you want. We've already hit max build, and now 10 might be in some trouble. Quad Shadow to get on out of there. It's a push and pull.
15 minutes in. A roller coaster of emotions in that defense. Zeta Division holding on for dear life. A minute until the Lord spawns lower quarter. Junichi here gets hit by a traction pulse. Forced to spread. Paquito jumping in. Will they be able to catch him? Here comes the AOG!
I mean, the AOG collapses onto 2. The frontliners don't mind taking damage. Quickly moves away. Muiminette getting on top of Paquito. He's lost 50%. Bravest 5 coming to Chino. Flank is forward. He's going to try with the range play. No! He gets him! Chino and Chan find a kill of their own, and Chan is unstoppable. Paquito still alive with a sliver of HP. Double for Chan. And now they're looking for the end game. Oh, wait! Hold on. 10 getting right on top of Hokun. Finds him. Does he still have his ult? No, he does. And finally collapses. That's all the members. But Busuke, he's all by himself, and he can't clear this wave.
Pisuke defending for dear life, but I believe that's going to be it.
That's a GG. Well played. The last to fall. Zeta Division put it all on the line, but Influence Rage comes out on top.
The